Gonna warn you now, spoilers in the entirety of this video for season 2 of Stranger Things. Spoiler alert, if you've not gone and seen season 2, then what are you doing with your life? You should have watched it by now. Go and watch it. Before I start, the theme tune that you heard was actually played on my vinyl player because Jordan got me the Stranger Things vinyl for I think my birthday last year, and just look how beautiful this vinyl is. Look at that, the colours of it is so amazing. Then obviously got the actual vinyl cover, but it's such an amazing soundtrack and I love listening to that vinyl. Like, I don't listen to it very often because it's quite a creepy thing, but yeah. Stranger Things, it is literally probably my favourite TV show, like not ever, but at the minute definitely. Like, I'm not one really for sitting down and watching TV. I do watch some Netflix originals and I have watched TV series in the past, but nothing like this has really captured me so much, and I've never enjoyed it so much, and I've never been so excited for new seasons and the characters and everything. That it's just, it could be my favourite TV show of all time. Again, if you haven't seen the second season, please go and see it. If you've not seen any of the show, go and watch it. Start from the beginning. I've watched season 2 through twice already, and I'm planning to watch the whole series from season 1 to season 2. And I just kind of want to talk about season 2 because there are a lot of opinions that I've heard from people, and like I've been chatting with my housemates about it, I talk to my friends about it at home, and I see videos of people what they've been saying about it and tweets, etc, etc. So I just want to talk about my opinions on it and like why I think it's such an amazing TV show. If you have a different opinion from me, didn't enjoy it, or just have different ideas about the episodes or whatever, then please tell me. I'd love to know how people do feel about the series. I can't describe how good the series was. Like, obviously there was more episodes, longer episodes as well, thank God. And I watched all of season 2 in one day, so I spent like nine and a half hours just sitting watching the whole season. Day well spent. So one big thing that I've seen many people talk about, and I've talked about myself, is episode 7, which was the stand kind of alone episode where 11 goes to find her sister, obviously completely separate to the storyline, but people like it was pointless, there was no need in it, it was a waste of time. But I don't see, like, I honestly don't see how that's a thing, because if 11 hadn't gone to meet her sister and found her and they didn't have that episode, she wouldn't be able to channel her powers properly, channel her anger. So maybe then she wouldn't have been able to close the gate at the end of the series. Then we wouldn't have kind of more characters to go back on. Maybe in season 3, if they do season 3, then they'll go back and visit those characters, and maybe she'll go back and find her sister, or her sister will come to Hawkins or something like that. Because now that there's these new characters, I definitely believe that they're going to have to build on them in some sort of way. If they don't, then maybe my opinion of it will change, and it will seem a bit like you've introduced this person and then it's just gone all of a sudden. But it gives more of an insight into the lab, what it was like in the lab, giving insights into the people that work there, and finding somebody else who's like 11 just adds more to it, I find. And I found the episode itself really interesting. Like, it did confuse me at first. I did find it so interesting, and I was just like, okay, we knew there must have been other people because 11 wasn't on her own. They didn't just start with the number 11. There's got to be 10 other people before her, and having that insight into one other person, I think it was so important in the character development as well, because again, 11 I don't think would have come back and have been, although she's vulnerable and you can see in the season she's a lot more vulnerable than normal, if she hadn't gone and done that if they hadn't done that episode, I don't think she would have been as strong as she came back. I think she still would have been quite vulnerable and scared, but now that she's like been exposed to the different kind of rougher side of the world, being in Chicago and everything, it's toughened her up. It's made her into more of a badass than she already was, really. So I definitely think it was needed. In my opinion, I think it was needed. Other people don't seem to agree with me, but again, that's just my opinion. I don't know if it's right or wrong or whatever. My other opinion that I'm 50-50 on it is about Bob Newby, superhero and everything like that, Bob the Brain. I wasn't too sure on the coupling. I'm happy that Joyce was with someone. Everything was nice in the beginning, but I just didn't agree with it. Like, I watched the thing afterwards, like Beyond Stranger Things, which is on Netflix as well, and the Duffer Brothers were talking about why they picked to have Bob, and they said they wanted her to have like this geeky boyfriend kind of thing. I just don't think it fitted with Joyce's character, but I think in my mind I just want Joyce and Hopper to be together, because I've always wanted that since season 1. I like Bob, and when he died then I was quite like, oh, you've just killed off this really nice character who was nice and everything, and then everyone was like, oh, justice for Bob now, because obviously Barb's all done and sorted and everything's fine. Now it's justice for Bob because he didn't deserve to die. I think it was needed because I want Hopper and Joyce to get together, so if Bob's now dead and like they're both going through grief together, it might make them a bit closer and the scene closer at the end of it when they're both at the snowball. Maybe it's going to be a thing in season 3. My fingers are crossed, I'm hoping for it anyway. The whole Jonathan and Nancy thing and Steve and Nancy thing's something else that my opinion's quite different on. A lot of people after season 1 were like, oh, Jonathan and Nancy should be together because Steve seemed to be a bit of a dick in season 1 and then ended up being nice at the end of it. And then in season 2, it was a bit iffy. Like, I was happy that they were still together, and I thought I liked them. I like Steve and Nancy, to be honest. I'm not 100% keen on Jonathan. I like him as a character, I just don't like him with Nancy, I think. And then when it happened, when they actually got together, Jonathan and Nancy in season 2, I was like, okay, it just didn't feel right with me. And then Steve turned all like maternal and like motherly on all the kids and everything, and it made me just like him more. And now everyone's saying, oh, he deserves better and stuff like this, and it's like, well, yeah, that was what I kind of had in season 1. I thought they should have been together. I don't know, it's again, it's another divided thing of people like Jonathan, people like Steve, but I'm definitely on Steve's side on this. Maybe it'll change in season 3 depending on what happens. The addition of Max was so needed. I feel like now that she's there and it's created another dynamic between her and Lucas, it just added another interesting plot to it, because everyone's so hung up on Mike and Eleven, and honestly, yeah, I think it's adorable. Like, I think Mike and Eleven are so cute and everything like that. But when I remember hearing about Max coming into it and they were saying, oh, he's Mike's new love interest and everything, and now that they've kind of done it completely different and said, okay, Mike's not interested at all because he's still kind of getting over 11 and everything like that. And I'm just happy that they'd let somebody else have a relationship dynamic with 2 other people, because the relationship with Mike and Eleven was already there. I was really hoping they weren't going to mess it up and change it, and so it was like, oh, Eleven comes back and it's all this massive love triangle about will it be Max or Eleven kind of thing. So I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. The overall effects on this season was so much more cinematic, and I loved it. And the whole shadow monster thing I enjoyed, because it means even though they got rid of it and they closed the gate, it is still a thing. You saw at the end of the season, it's still there, like in the upside down and everything. And the gate's been opened before quite easily, so surely there must be a way to open it again for season 3. And it was looking over the school, so it's obviously watching what people are doing, so maybe it's still got a grasp on Will, or the whole thing with maybe Hopper and Dustin, because they got, I remember seeing in the tunnels, they had those things that were like squirting stuff out of, I don't know, it was black gunk and everything, and they were squirting out stuff. And I remember it went into Dustin's mouth, I think, and Hopper was throwing it up. So maybe again, it's still kind of, now that's in them, it could be used in season 3 to build it back up and have something connected back to the shadow monster. I don't know, maybe they're gonna bring something else in again. But yeah, that was quite an interesting theory that I thought of when I watched it and everything, and now that I'm thinking about it, it's playing in my head as to how are they going to kind of bring that back, which I'm really interested to see in season 3, which I'm hoping isn't going to be like another year, because if I have to wait another year for a blooming season, I'm going to be mad. Can't wait that long. But yeah, that's kind of like the general stuff that I thought about when I was like writing stuff down about this, about the Stranger Things and everything. There's probably a lot more stuff in the back of my head that I've not mentioned. If you have watched this video and you've not seen it, got a lot of spoilers in that, and you've probably ruined most of the season, but it's just such an influential, like, such a big thing. I've got the vinyl, I went as 11 for Halloween, I've got a phone case with it on, I've sent a list of stuff to my friends with like the Hawkins AV Club jumper and a t-shirt and this, that and the other. It's just so good. It's the same with like, once I like a musician, I get very attached to it. I don't know, I just get very attached and obsessed with stuff very quickly. If you have different opinions on the season, how it was done compared to season 1, if you have any theories for season 3, please let me know. I'd love to read fan theories. I read them quite often, because I love to see how right people get it or how wrong people get it when the season does come out. That's basically it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.